Bechia B'Tzion U'Mispein
Kina 27. Here, Rav Elazar HaKalir describes Yirmiyahu meeting the beautiful Yerushalayim, the female persona that we know of so well from Yirmiyahu Sefer HaKinot, Echa Yashva Badar Ha'ir Rabat Yam Hayta Ka'almana. And this Kina begins with Yisrael being compared to the beautiful city of Tirzah, when her sins, when her iniquities are full, the angels cry out, and Yirmiyahu meets her as he's leaving Har HaBayit. He meets Yerushalayim, and he says, wow, Gena, who is this beautiful woman who is now so disheveled? Goes Rani alayach b'shem Elokim v'adam. He doesn't even recognize her. He thinks that she is an apparition, because on one hand you can tell that she was once so beautiful, but now she is menuvelet, and she responds, again, just don't think of me as a shade. I'm not a demon. I'm not a golem. Do you know who I am? Yudua hayiti b'shuva v'nachat. Halavai, that you would have known me when I was so beautiful, when I was in a state of stillness. But I want you to know who I am. And here is Yerushalayim, full of sin, completely detached from Avodat Hashem. We know during the time, especially of the Churban Bayit Rishon, Shvichut Damim and Gilui Arayot and Avodah Zarah. And she says, but you know who I am? Hein l'shaloshani u'l'shivim ve'echad u'l'shnei masar v'shishim ve'echad. I am the daughter of Echad. I'm the daughter of Avram Avinu. I'm the daughter of the 3 Avot. I'm the daughter of Chok Shnei Masar, of the 12 Shvatim. I'm the daughter of Shishim Ribo, of 600,000 members of Am Yisrael who left Mitzrayim. And I am the daughter of Shivim ve'Echad l'Sanhedria. And this is remarkable, that even in her state of detachment, she sees herself as part of a chain, and this is what allows her to retain some beauty of the past. And Yirmiyahu says, well, if that's the case, you were once so beautiful, so you still have it inside of you. On one hand, as the Kina begins, Isha Yefat Toar Menuvelet. You are an Isha Yefat Toar, and now you're ugly, but you can turn back. And therefore he says, Asid Shuvah, go ahead and perform Shuvah. And this way people will stop calling you Bata Shoeva. And she responds, but how can I? And look at what I've done. Look at my Nevi'im. Look at all the blood that's here in Yerushalayim. And look at the Malon Mikdash, my holy temple, again, that's going to be destroyed because of my sins. And she then turns to Yirmiyahu and she entreats upon Yirmiyahu. So Yirmiyahu, you daven for me. You turn to Elokim. And this way Hashem will finally say enough and save me from this. So Yirmiyahu does call out to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And as he does, Malei Rachamim Rachim Ka'aval Beno. And either he or HaKadosh Baruch Hu shouts, Sa'ak Oy La'av Sheheglan Nino. And he himself turns to Hashem as a father and says, as we know from Masechet Brachot as well, that 3 times a day Hashem cries out, Oy la'av shehegla nino, ve'oy leben sheboshalchan av eno. Shame on the father who no longer has his children and the children who no longer has his father. And then Yerushalayim turns to Yirmiyahu and says, if Hashem isn't going to answer you, then go back to my other fathers. Go back to the Avot. Go to Ma'arat HaMachpelah and shout there, Kra la'avot mi'aron u'Moshe. Again, please call out to them. And Yirmiyahu does, and he roars at Ma'arat HaMachpelah, and he says, look at your children, and look at the Mikdash that was once so beautiful, and now it's not. Tishivim k'mi'asom ech v'soed terachim tiyan kiva mo'ed. And we feel the tension here between what Malachi says, Shuva Elai. First, you return to me, Vashuva Alechem, that ideally, Yerushalayim, the beautiful Yerushalayim. Yirmiyahu says, come on, can't you be the one to take a step towards HaKadosh Baruch Hu? And by the end, Yerushalayim says, Yirmiyahu, I need you. You turn to Hashem, you turn to the Avot, more in line with how Yirmiyahu ends Sefer HaKinot, he ends Megillat Eicha, Zochor Hashem Mahayalanu, Hashivenu Hashem Elacha. Hashem, we need you to take the first step. This is the state of her desolation, where we feel so helpless that we need HaKadosh Baruch Hu to help us return. And with this, we begin the Kina together, as Bimlo Sefek, Yafa Ketirtzah.
Adonai Bechia B'Tzion U'Mispein Lo